What's up, guys? Welcome to How to Make Stop Motions episode 1. This is going to be part 1 of my How to Make Stop Motion series. I noticed that there aren't too many How to Make Stop Motion tutorials on YouTube, so I'm going to start with one. And first and foremost, we're just going to jump right into it. So the first thing you're going to need are figures, which you guys all know. Alright, and second, how I make mine is I have a set. And this, I just use something like this. I got it from Michaels. It's just hobby cardboard. It's cheap and it makes a great background. Keeps light out the way and everything else. Or light bounces off of it too, so it can make if you're in a dark room, it can make things extra bright. It really comes in handy. Next, we got the props, and I make these from cardboard. Usually the boxes my figures and stuff come in, and I just use construction paper and glue, which is pretty easy. I can actually make a tutorial on how to do that if you guys really want to know. It's just tape, and I use an ink pen for the windows, crayons, or glue to get the door to stay on. And that's pretty much the same principle I use for all of my props and background stuff. And for one thing I noticed is that the hardest part about stop motion is keeping a stable camera. And that's the part I struggled on the most. And 95% of your problems will be fixed if you just know how to have a stable fixed camera. So it makes it look like you're shooting a movie scene, and I do that by just using these. Just video game cases, books, anything will work just to prop it up. And usually the position I use is from the front, so I'm setting it down on the cases now. And you see how that looks? It's just right there. Now it's just leaning. The camera's leaning right there, and wherever I move the figures, the camera doesn't move at all. So it gives the illusion of real motion. Or makes it look more like a movie. Like the characters are actually moving. That's the trickiest part about stop motion for me, was figuring out how to have the characters just stay in one spot or having a stable camera. And I fixed it by just propping up my phone on video game cases, which is what I use. And any phone will work. My phone has a really nice camera, but my old phone really didn't, and it still worked just fine. And it doesn't just matter with the phone. You can use a video camera. You can use anything. There you just have the characters in a certain position. And the way I do movement is I'll have them, I like Dragon Ball Z style of animating, where the characters don't really move realistically. Their arms and legs just kind of pop into place. And the reason I like that is it really makes it seem like the characters are fighting at a super fast speed, which gives it more of an anime quality. So that's what I try and go for in my videos. Like, some people prefer realistic motion and all that, which is fine. That's, you do what you want. That's a beautiful animation style. For me, it's a little too time consuming. And I like the overall anime feel of the videos that I make. And the way I do that is, say Goku will just be sitting here in this position, and I'll take a photo, and then in the next position, I'll move his arm here. Oh, sometimes that happens. I'll move his arm there. Then I'll move it again. Take the photo. Or for better looking punch, I'll do it like this. First, I'll put Goku in his fighting stance. There we go. Yeah, that looks really cool. So then after that, he's in his fighting stance, and then you want him to throw a punch. So depending on the kind of punch you want him to throw, it depends. If you want him to throw a jab, I just move his arm right here, take a picture, then I move his arm right here. There, come on, stand. There we go. Then take another picture. And voila, he's throwing a jab. And it's pretty much the same principle for all of his strikes. If he's returning to a fighting stance after throwing a punch, I just put his arm back where it was. Or maybe lean his body back a little bit so it'll look like the momentum character moved back just like a boxer would throw a punch when he retracts. And then for a cross, sometimes it may require turning his body to the side. A cross is kind of tricky. So there are several ways to do it. Sometimes I throw it like he's throwing a karate punch. Like that. And then that one doesn't require a whole bunch of extra photos, depending on how fast you want it to look. Now, that works especially good for superposable figures like Goku, but for guys like Superman or the Marvel Legends, they're not as posable because their elbow joints aren't quite as. Can you see that? Characters are kind of dark. These guys aren't quite as posable. Well, Iron Fist is, so he can throw a jab. But sometimes, to make up for the lack of posability, you'll just have to turn the characters instead. Just like Superman throwing a hook. I do it like this. You take the picture here. Next, you take the picture there. Boom, you take the picture there. And then it looks like he's throwing a full hook. And then say if he's hitting Goku, it'll go picture. Then you'll take a picture again. Make sure the characters are standing. Then you take a picture again. So to get that anime look where it just looks like he's been clobbered. So that's how I take pictures and that's how I animate my fight scene. And there are several ways to doing it. There's never a bad way or a good way. It works with any kind of figures. Like, say you got these wrestling figures. Yeah, some of them aren't superposable, but the same principles apply to all of them. Just for a punch, you just wind his torso back, take the picture, move it forward, and then take the picture. If he's got an opponent, sometimes I'll animate both of them, so then his opponent would be like, "Oh no, I don't want to get hit." Or I have a startled look on his face before he gets hit, but that looks like he got punched. So we'll do like a more startled look. There we go. Like his guard is down and he's vulnerable, but he knows he's gonna get hit, but it's like he can't react. So then we put Ryback back in his normal about to punch position here. Then we take a picture here and take a picture here, kabam. And when sped up in a video editing program, it'll look like one swift motion where it's just pow, a really quick punch. If he gets knocked down, I just lay him down. But the trick is if you animate it really fast, the steps will look it'll look really quick and really smooth. So all those extra frames and stuff aren't really necessary. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna create a fight scene, and then I'll show you how to edit that, and that'll be in video too. So thanks for watching, guys, and City Ninja Warrior Z out.